Welcome to the Real Deal Fishing Podcast. My name is Jazzy Kevin.
I'm still just Mike.
Come on, man.
I know I can't do it. I can't
with
steal
me.
the man's music. He's backstage grooving right now. We know it.
Oh man. Well, y'all, it's been an extra week since we got to do a podcast. Again, like we always say, life happens. But welcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing the Real Deal Fishing Podcast for your podcast entertainment. And if you're watching live, that means you're a Boom Squad member, and we appreciate you. I saw Fracture Fixes in the house, Mr. John. Thank you for being here, Mr. John. And if you want to watch the playback, but you don't have the funds to become a member each month, please check out the Real Deal Fishing Podcast YouTube channel where you can watch the live playback. You can also check out the link in the description of our guests and their YouTube channels, Mike's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and get you some fly merch.
Merch.
Done any fishing lately, Mike?
I got to go fishing Saturday morning, and I believe a little bit on Sunday. Nothing but jet skiers all over the place, and they're cleaning out the reservoir. What's that called? Like when it goes to the dam, there's like a big old thing down there in the dam. I don't know if it's like a
Volkswagen,
and there could be. They said they were pulling out hunks of trees out of some. I don't know what it is. But anyways, between the reservoir and the river, and so the water's not moving, the water's down, everything's weird.
Just
went
wrong,
to a local lake,
situation.
no luck. So we're just kind of off right now in my area.
Yeah. Well, since it was Labor Day on Monday, I got to go out for a late Sunday night fishing trip with our friend Bill. And for the first 3 hours, it was really slow. And then after midnight, man, the bite picked up. We ended up with 3 flatheads and a substantial blue cat, 43 pounds. So that's the biggest one I've caught in a long time. So we had a really good night. And I'm getting excited to go tomorrow night to go out. And it looks like the weather is we just can't escape the rain here. Like, people out in your area are like, y'all need the rain. And we're like, please stop.
Yep.
But hopefully I'll be able to get out. But tonight, everybody, and or whenever you're listening, we want to welcome our guests. There is a quickly rising YouTube live channel or show, I should say, because it's on 2 channels, and it's gaining interest, and it's a late night show called The Boar's Nest, and there's the host, Mr. Hogleg, and the co-host, Takedown Catfishing, Mr. KP, and we have them on the podcast to talk about that show. If you are listening, you can check out Hogleg Catfishing and Takedown Catfishing, Mr. Kenneth Powell, and check out those YouTube channels, and they'll let you know kind of like who takes over. Sometimes they take breaks. It's really dynamic.
Yep.
But it's a late night show, guys. But we'll talk about that here in just a second. If you're on the YouTube channel watching right now, the link is in the description. I have to go down there and click it. So very easy. All right, we're going to welcome our guests, Mr. Hogleg and Mr. KP. How you doing, fellas?
Tired.
What's up? How's it going?
So, kind of let's introduce you. Hogleg. We know you by Hogleg, but do you want to introduce yourself as your real self?
Yeah, my name is Steve. For those of y'all didn't know it, there's a few of you out there. But I'm me and Melissa live in Southwest Georgia, and we're just good Southern people. I mean, that's really all there is to tell you about us. About me.
And you'll discover Mr. Steve Hogleg is a man of few words, but the words are always important. So make sure you listen closely. How about you, KP? Where are you from?
I'm from South Central Virginia,
Virginia.
in yeah, Virginia. Yep, that's where I'm from. My home waters is Kerr Lake and Lake Gaston.
All right.
They the waters I fish, and all the rivers that contribute those lakes.
Now those
So
are
that's
two
me, man.
huge lakes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm very fortunate and proud to live in part of the country where a lot of people travel for hours to come fish, and I'm not. I'm like 30, 40 minutes away from right at the middle part of the lake. So I'm Bugs Island, or Kerr Lake. But local guys call it Bugs Island. And if you ever go down and fish overnight, you'll know why they call it Bugs Island. They will tote you away. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, but let's see. My name is Kenneth Powell.
Mhm.
Like I said, I live in South Central Virginia, and I'm divorced about 14 years now. I have a daughter. She's 25 years old, and she's been with me her whole life. And matter of fact, she still
That's
lives with
blessed.
me. She's my best friend and my partner, and we work together on a lot of things, to
Amen.
navigate life. But I'm trying to get her more and more into this catfishing deal. So,
Yeah.
and I've been having some health issues, and I've been disabled for November. A week before Thanksgiving this year will be 3 years. I've been dealing with a diabetic ulcer on my foot,
Gotcha.
and that's pretty much sums me up for the last few years. But I'm trying to get back into the fishing. So.
Yeah, and you've done some fishing. I've seen you on other YouTube channels going out and visiting people. Most recently, you went to the Tennessee meet and greet, right?
Yeah, oh man, yeah, that was a blast, man. We had a ball down there. That's the first time I met Steve and Melissa in person. Was there? It was a lot of Daryl Trophy Seekers. I met him, and the list could go on and on and on. I mean, it was a blast, man. I didn't sleep for the whole weekend. Really, about 3 hours the whole weekend. Rest of the time, I was running my mouth, cooking chili, and watching people fish because I never threw a rod out. I was either talking to everybody. Jody would give me the camera one time. She was live, so I was kind of hosting that, looking around. We just had a blast all the way around. So it
Sounds
was a
like
good
a
time.
good time.
Yeah.
And as you'll notice, those of you who are listening, KP is quite the opposite of Hogleg. He likes to talk a lot, which is a good thing.
Yep.
And I
Oh,
think
come
that's
on.
why you guys do so well on your channel. You complement each other. Hogleg, you just told me that your anniversary, your year anniversary on YouTube just happened about a month ago, right?
Yes. Them Google timelines that send you out a thing periodically once a month and tell you, ask you, do you remember this a year ago? Well, one day last month, mine come out, and it just so happened to be when I was first getting into the YouTube catfish community, and I was trying to come up with an image, my icon, and oh man, oh man, I didn't know what I wanted, but I'm pretty satisfied that I chose the one I did.
And it's a big boar's head, right? That's your main logo, right?
Yep. Uh, Matter of fact, I can show you one of them right
Yeah.
there.
So those of you who are listening, it's a gray circle. Well, it's a gray background with a lot of red in there and a big boar's head with some mighty fine tusks coming out the mouth of it, if I do say so myself.
Look, and a little fun fact about that: I chose to hide 9 catfish on that head.
Oh, okay. So if you guys go over to Hogleg's channel and you see his logo, you can do like a "Where's the Catfish" challenge there. So
Yeah,
you
catfish.
yeah. So you guys have well, Hogleg's been on for a little over a year, and just as a matter of fact, Facebook reminded me today that Mike and I started this podcast 1 year ago today. So happy anniversary, sweetheart.
I forgot.
You forgot?
I
Oh, we're
forgot.
done. We're
I didn't get you
show
anything.
over.
An enchanted moment. Oh, geez.
But it's been a blast. We've had a good time, and as kind of like a co-host thing we got going on here. We kind of build off of each other too. So, Hogleg, why don't you kind of tell us how you started your show and then how you came to meet KP there?
Oh, okay. Well, it's a long story. Back last September, I cut my foot with a grinder. Uh, yeah, cut it pretty bad. Uh, and I was trying to build bank rod holders because I was in the Catfish Regulators Bank Tournament, 7-7, his second one. Uh,
I remember
well,
that.
yeah, I cut my foot, and then I still wanted to get on YouTube, and it wasn't until November I decided one Saturday morning just to go live, and from there uh, I progressed, and I tried to figure which way I wanted to take my show, and a popular YouTuber out there. Does late night also. He kind of kind of fell in his footsteps a little bit as far as late night. Cause see, I was an owner operator for 18 years on my own truck, and I was used to being up late overnight, and so
Yeah, that's long hours doing that
yeah.
job.
Yep.
So after he would go off, I noticed there wasn't anybody uh, filling that spot right there.
Right.
And I thought to myself, self, this might be
I
this
said,
might be a good time to go home because I don't want to step on nobody's, toes. And I want to give the late night people a place to go.
What time are you talking here? What time frame about was it?
2 a.m. to 5 a.m. was the original time. Uh, but it we always start at 2 a.m., maybe a couple minutes later. Uh, but the 5 a.m., uh, I think it only happened a handful of times. We,
Yeah.
and so doing that, KP. I can't remember exactly how I met KP. I
could
think
it possibly be just through YouTube and chat?
Well,
yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I basically I got to coming in when he started going live. First time I seen Hogleg is when he would come up on Regulators panel one night when Regulator was live at the dock with Tom fishing,
right,
and he come up there. That's the first time you went on any live, I think. Period. Right.
right. My very
Yeah.
first
I
time.
seen it that night, and so I knew who he was. From watching it, and then I seen him in other places going live, and seen him in some chats and stuff, and we just kind of grew from there.
Yeah,
And he just approached me, said, "Give me the idea for the show and what he was aiming on doing," and asked me if I wanted to help him out and be his co-host. And I was like, "Well, man, I ain't never done much of that. I was into YouTube. I started YouTube in May of not this past year, but year before. It's been a year and 6, 8 months, whatever it is, from May to now. And I really hadn't done a whole lot and put in much content because I was messing with this foot. They had me in hospitals and rehabs, and I was trying to get myself back together, and I was gonna start putting in some content. But I mostly got into YouTube because I needed somewhere to put my interest. I was sitting here all day. They wouldn't let me get up. They had to keep my foot propped up and stuff. I said, this is driving me nuts because I'm an old truck driver too. I had my own truck for 19 years, and I drove truck total. You just count starting off with little six wheelers and stuff for 35 years.
A
And
funny fact, not to cut you off, but you two, both truck drivers, the majority of our audience is truck drivers on the actual podcast, and we
Right.
get a
okay,
lot of comments saying, I look forward to these shows because I listen to it on the road.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
You
just thought,
listen to a lot of that late night. When you got an overnight ride you got to do and keep your eyes open. You can't stop. You got to be there. And I used to listen to stuff like that on the radio too. It helps you pass the night by because your mind gets into that, and you get to thinking, but you don't get to thinking, but well, I ain't slept in a day and a half. You know what I mean? So,
now let's
but
talk
that's
about.
kind of how we got started. I told him I'd try it, and we did it. And looked like it clicked, man. And Melissa, she's a great lady too, and I call him my little brother now. She's my sissy, so we get along pretty good, And he's
And,
my kind of people.
and if you didn't notice, I'm the quiet one. and
See,
Only time you, only time you can get hog, I call him hog head all the time. Just mess with him. Only way you can get hog leg round up is give him some Vegemite. That joker gets wide open then.
You have
that's the reason that I chose KP to be my co-host is because I don't talk that much. I wanted to do a talk show, but I don't talk that much. and I I seen KP in the chats and stuff, and he was burning it up. So one night when my show was starting, I asked KP to come up on my panel, and he did. And then you know, he, I asked him to be my co-host, and you see what?
The
let me kind of
luxurious
feel.
career begins.
Let me kind of fill in the void here. Maybe people listening don't kind of understand how our community kind of works with these live streams. So, an individual will go live and, most of the talks about fishing, but then they'll bring up panelists. And how it works is we all use this program called StreamYard. And it's very easy to use. You just send somebody a link and they can just tap it on their phone or the email and open it up in the browser. So something that's kind of unique that nobody else does, but you guys, is you put that link pinned to the top of the chat, which for me scares the fool out of me because no, we were talking before the show. There's always one person in there that's just like a little hoo hoo, you know,
Ah,
and so that hoo hoo could kind of click that link, and if you trust in it, and you pop them up there, and they go crazy.
well, see, what protects you on that is when they come in the basement, you got to see that we tell them, say, we want to see your face. Is that you? Show us as you while they're in the basement, because if they don't look right, whoop, they
So
gone.
what? So what? I'm curious now. What determines if somebody looks right?
I mean, all right, look, don't come up by with your icon on. Anybody can use your icon, right? We want to
Right.
see this right here. You let me in. Hey, it's me.
See,
It's
those are the
me.
people I'm worried about. Is people that look like you just did.
Oh, well, I know I'll never come up on one of your lives.
Uh, hey Kevin,
No, but
I want to remind you that as I let them up, uh, I keep my mouse over the image in the basement,
Smart.
and until I see their face or hear their voice. Uh, and usually we don't have strangers coming up.
Yeah.
No,
And
we get a
look,
few bots, but we got the people in chat knock them out when they come in. As soon as they come in, so
and luckily, we haven't had. Uh, I haven't had to put but just a few in what I call YouTube prison.
yeah, yeah. Had a couple we had to decipher, but overall, it wasn't. It's been a pretty good trip so far.
So, Mike, you've listened to the show, and somebody put Rod Knockers Fishing, one of our Boom Squad members. He put in the chat earlier. He said, "No wonder I've never seen the show." He said, "I turned into a pumpkin after 9 p.m." I typed in the chat. I said, "Yeah, me too, brother." And so it wasn't until I was on the way to work, and usually, I try not to look at the phone, but I'll put on like YouTube and just press play on something. Usually, it's like one of the talk shows the night before or something. I'll just listen. Well, I noticed that Hogleg, I had subscribed to him, so it showed up, and it was live. So I just tapped on it. I was like, "What are these fools doing up at 5:30 in the morning doing a
Yep.
live stream?" And,
Oh,
and they were talking, and I heard KP. Well, hello there, Mike Murillo. And I was like, "Oh, Mike's listening to us." And Mike, you and ever since then, most mornings, on the way to work, I'll just pop it on and listen to it because it's good, wholesome chat, and it's rarely about fishing, but it's always fun. So
I was gonna make a comment a minute ago. We probably the only ones on YouTube where say we're a fishing show, but we talk less about fishing than probably anybody else.
And I think the truck drivers, the ones that listen to our show, should think about tuning in,
They should.
because you guys provide, 3 to 4 hours of content every night. Every night.
Well, a
Well, at
lot of
least,
nights it's 6 and 7 hours too.
yeah. So,
yeah.
Mike, my question was, you've been listening a lot longer than me. What kind of hooked you into their show, and that'll kind of drive the conversation there?
Well, I was recommended or advised to give the show a look in its earliest moments from another one of our YouTube friends, and it was extremely late. So I'm like, I don't know, buddy. I'm not usually up during those exact hours. That's usually when I'm asleep. But I can wake up early and stay up sometimes. So I'm like, well, I catch the second half of the show then. I would rarely catch the beginning of the show. And every now and then I'll catch the beginning of the show and I'll say, hey, and they'll be like, whoa, he's awake because I'm Central Time. Central Time. So it's a little bit of a mismatch for me. But to me, the show is so awesome. These guys have such a great chemistry. I believe that it's built upon a mutual respect that they have for each other. And like KP just said, they talk about life.
Yep.
I mean, to
That's
me,
it,
yeah,
man.
fishing is life, family's life, but uh, life has so many different aspects to it. So I just get drawn into their stories and the camaraderie. And then sometimes I tune in and there's 8 people on the panel. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. It's like, what are all these crazy people doing up this early in the morning and what are they talking about? And they would do some funny little video clips and I didn't understand what they
Yeah, I saw
were.
that.
I didn't understand what they were.
Oh,
And then I told our mutual friend, I was like, you can use my face if you want to on one of those. And next thing you know, like moments later, boom, here I am.
Huge mistake.
Yeah. But I
yeah.
still laugh and I still love it. And I'm just like, man, these guys are having a great time. I just love the positivity and the uniqueness to cover so much more than just, hey, what's your favorite hook? And what snell knot do you use? And and I love that. Don't get me wrong. Now I'm thinking about every knot I can tie. My
Yeah,
mind's
the other
going.
morning we were talking about rock and roll and
Yeah.
music.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we cover a vast variety of subjects every night. It's not just we don't have like tonight. We're gonna talk about how do you do a no knot snail or something. We don't do that. We just fly by the seat of our britches, man. We get the thing started and we kind of feed off a chat. You know,
and
people come in and
we feed off of each other.
we always we always promote. Um, am I breaking up? Y'all hear me?
No, you're good.
No, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Good to go, KP.
We always try to promote anybody that wants to come up promote something they're doing. A new channel starting out. I don't care if you got 10 million subs. I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of Hogleg here too. I'm not trying to overstep my bounds, but that's what we try to do. Is people come in just like a family. It's just like I told Hogleg one time. I said, the way I like this, what I get from this is just like a family. Worked all day. You come home, sit at the dinner table, eat dinner together, and you talk about your day. I said, that's what I get out of this. That's the way I feel like it is. It's a family atmosphere. Now, we got some people out there that say, well, I don't know why you call it family. It ain't no cap. It is to us, okay? That's the way we try to pursue it is we treat it like family. So that's the way I look at it in a nutshell. Some people don't agree with me, but that's fine. That's what life is, free will and choices. So
But that's the beauty of
not
living
everybody's going to like us,
in the United States of America. You can choose to not watch or watch if you want to. I think
Yeah.
now we've lost KP a little bit, but he'll be back. Hogleg, do you think what he's talking about, like other people feel the same way? Like you were talking, your audience kind of grows. It starts out small at 2 a.m., and then by the time you're done, you got 40 something people in there. Do you think
Uh,
other people feel the same way? They use it as kind of like a time to talk about what's going on?
yeah, yeah, and well, when the show first starts, we usually have 20 to 25 people at 2 a.m. And as the night goes on, and you start getting people waking up, starting their day,
Yep.
and so we usually end up with about 45, 50 people, and that's what they're wanting to do. I mean, that's I feel an obligation to give these people, my subscribers, a place to go at night to just unload, and just talk about what their day is going to be like, what it was like, what their life brings to them, and man, yeah, yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
that's
feel.
important. That's
Yeah,
really important because, like Kenneth was saying, and I'm not speaking for him because he kind of alluded to it. He's on disability right now, and he's got to find something to fill the time with. Otherwise, sitting there not being able to leave the house been driving crazy.
right.
Now, I'm not saying KP's not crazy, but I mean, look,
Uh,
as he gets close to the camera. And one of our Boom Squad members, James Kirkpatrick, said to me, the reason I like watching Hogleg is because they are real, they have fun, they are positive, and always treat everyone with respect.
that's right.
And that's hard to find nowadays.
That's right. That's what we do.
We
Right?
treat them with respect until they give us a reason not to. Now, somebody come up in there showing their butt, acting crazy or something, we give them the wash pan. Bing, they got to go.
Right. Exactly. Y'all got
And
to do more.
so you guys start off at 2 a.m. Do now so I guess the question should be, do you guys sleep? Or when you do, when do you find sleep?
What's that?
Humans have to sleep.
Oh man. Well, just like today, I ended the show at what it 8:05, I think
Wow,
it was.
y'all went to 8:05. Holy moly!
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went in there and my lawnmower drive belt was off. I had to put it back on. So I went out there and put it back on. Next thing I know, it was 1:30, and so I decided, what the heck, I might as well cut the grass. So I cut the grass. Next thing I know, it was I think I laid down at what 5:20, and so and here we
So
are.
you had a couple hours sleep at least.
Yeah, yeah. And me and Melissa could probably be up the remainder of the night.
Yeah, I was about to say because when you finish this around 10 o'clock, then you got a show coming up.
Well, oh, that's something else I wanted to get into, if you didn't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Uh, once I reach my 500 subscriber mode or mark, uh, KP was my co-host, or is my co-host. I wanted to help him grow his channel, and so I came to him and asked him, "Hey, you want a couple of the nights?" And oh yeah, KP was ready for it. I mean, we were doing this show 5 nights a week, uh, every day for how long? KP, a year almost, and we were getting a little burnt out, you know. Uh, but I didn't want to. I felt, like I said earlier, I felt obligated to the people who subscribed to me to
Right.
give them a place to go. And so I went to KP and I asked him. I said, "Well, do you want part of the show to help grow your channel?" And he said, "Sure, I'll take it, boss." So there, the the takedown catfish and late night conversation show started,
Okay.
and he does Mondays and Tuesdays, and I take Wednesdays and Thursdays. Now Fridays we we put it out there, and if anybody wanted to take it, to take the Friday morning uh, deal, and uh, an individual spoke up and said that yes, I'll take that spot, and he has nothing to do with uh, the takedown show or the boar's nest. He runs his own show,
Hmm.
does his own thing, and
But you kind of gave him like the idea, the opportunity to go ahead and run that, and that way
right,
it gives y'all a night off.
exactly. And
So
so
that,
see, we've got three nights off.
yep, 3 nights. So y'all don't do the weekends,
No, we've never. Well, actually, it starts on
Sunday night.
Monday morning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Late 2 a.m. Monday morning.
So do you sleep on the weekends then? Is that when you sleep?
No, we sleep. Or I sleep. I'm speaking for myself. KP is in his own world, but I sleep whenever I get a chance to sleep. Melissa, on the other hand, she only gets about 4 hours a day. But yeah,
Rod Knocker said in the chat like it's hard for him to watch a long live stream, and I think that's what's unique too about streaming so long is that you see kind of like a rotation come through. You got your because I mean honestly, unless you're on this side of the camera, it's hard to watch a live stream for that long.
right.
You get jittery unless you're listening, driving on the road. So, so I think that's an interesting comment because even for the short 30 minutes that I listen to it, I hear you guys having people rotate in and out. So
Yeah.
you got your really late night or really early morning crew, and then you got your morning crew.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Mhm. So
And
what's I've also noticed something else that's unique. It's not just you and KP. Like you have a variety of different guests, and sometimes they're doing other things. What are some of the other things you have people that come up on panel are doing? I've seen a variety of different things.
Oh man, there some of them like there's a couple of 'em popular names on YouTube. Uh, can I call out their names?
Absolutely.
Uh,
As long as you don't list Curtis first, because he'll just get a big head. We can't deal with that.
oh man,
Yeah,
uh,
we promote everybody as long as they're not trashing people or being belligerent. Anybody you want to plug, go right ahead.
okay. Well, like Murillo and you, Kevin, and y'all come in there. I know you know I don't know what it is, but I can almost feel y'all. I know when y'all come in. Uh, y'all don't have to say a word. But then we have the people the lurkers
Yeah,
that sit back and never say anything. And I knew there were some big names lurking. And take for instance, Lyle Stokes. Uh,
Lyle Stokes has two shows, talk shows, Panfish Nation and the Catfish Weekly. So that's who he's talking about. Those are on YouTube.
and then another one is Catfish and Crappie.
Yep.
Uh, and another one is uh, you just had him on your podcast a couple of weeks ago,
Epic Catfish.
Epic Catfish.
Mhm.
He's been up on our panel a few times, and well, not so much lately, you know.
Right. Well, I think what I meant more like you have people doing like actual different things when they come up on panel.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Well, some of them come up fishing up on our panel fishing. They're out fishing, and then some of them are just driving and
Yep.
and talking. Uh, take for instance, hooks and hammocks. They get up in the morning and around 4 o'clock, and Chris usually comes in and starts their day off, you know, with our show, and then he'll end up him and Telly as they driving to work will listen to our show driving to the work, and yeah, we
You got some people that are actually working though, don't
Yeah.
you? Like people actually
yeah
doing their job,
yeah
and which I think is funny because they come back. Like I think Mike, I saw him on his job up there one time.
Yeah. I've poked in a couple times. See me in my office, and New Jersey fishing maniac. He's delivering
oh yeah
Delivering
and
something,
picking
yeah.
up bread and
bread
supplies and such for the bakery,
and apple fritters.
apple fritters, and then he's on his way to go to his fishing spot, and he's live the whole time, talking to people in and out of his truck, yelling at traffic. He's nice, but I was like, "Come on, lady, the light's been green for 10 seconds," he'll stick his head out. You'll hear the wind noise, and he's like, "We got to go through this light or what?" It's just funny.
Right.
Eric delivers. But it seems like he's got long stretches to drive.
Yeah.
So he can actually chat. He's not watching anything. He's not reading chat. He's being as safe as he can be. But he is live on the panel.
Yeah, he's in his panel. I mean, and that's one thing that if y'all come up on the panel, safety first. I mean, pay attention to what you what you're doing. but mostly they do. I mean, I haven't seen one yet that hasn't been watching the road, paying attention. They'll just turn it on the panel. I mean, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about being on a panel um, that brings joy to our lives, you know, and they just want to be there. And if they're not looking at the phones or nothing, I mean, they're just talking. And
They're
sometimes
kind of
we
like
get,
hanging out with your best friends every day.
that's right, that's
Yep,
right,
exactly.
that's right.
KP, what's
I'm
the
sorry.
most interesting thing that you can remember? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but like, what's something interesting? Maybe not the most, but what's something interesting that has come from the show that you didn't ever think would come from?
Try that again. My internet's freaky.
I was just saying, what's something that's come from the show that's interesting that you never thought you'd experience doing the show?
This catfish family, I don't call it community. How how much people love you and generally care. Of course, you got a few old dingleberries around out here and now, but for the most part, most people are pretty good. And anytime you throw a whole peck together, there's going to be one or two bad ones, and you just have to weed them out. But for the most part, what really blew me away is how loving and devoted people are. I mean, we wouldn't have a show if it weren't for the people, you know, and we know that. We don't take it for granted. Me and Hogleg get up and talk to each other every morning. That wouldn't mean nothing. I mean, it would to us. But what I'm saying is the other element of adding the chat in and the people and the family. That's what makes it, and that's why we do it. We try to do it, and we try to promote. We always from the beginning try to promote everybody. I don't, like I said a while ago, I don't care if you just starting out with one sub, no sub. You got a channel, you come in and check. If you want to come up and introduce yourself, tell us about your plans. That's what we try to promote. And I don't care if you're, 10 million subs and you got 50 videos a month coming out or whatever. If you want to come up and promote what you're doing, come up here and do it. I mean, that's what we try to promote. We try to do it as a loving and family atmosphere. That's why I call it family. Here lately, I've been getting a little slack from a few people about calling it a family, but it'll always be that way to me. I mean, everybody do what they want to do with their own channel, you know, and Hog Leg feels just like I do.
And he got kicked again.
There
Yeah,
goes the internet.
You want to finish that thought, Hogleg?
yeah. See that's what makes our team so dynamic is I know exactly what keep KP is saying. Uh, we've in case y'all didn't know, we've been getting some haters out there, and that's what YouTube calls them. Haters.
Hey, welcome to the club, brother.
Yeah,
When you start getting haters, that means you're doing something right. When
right.
people and wise people have told me when people don't have anything negative to say, then you're not relevant.
That's right. And oh, there's back.
Man, my internet is getting between my ears tonight. I'm thinking my phone is heating. I got the fan blowing, turn my ceiling fan on. So if y'all hear something like, it's not, it's my
Well,
fan
I
blowing.
mean,
I'm trying to keep,
you live down there in the bayou now. I mean, they don't got the internet down there.
yeah,
Yeah,
but the heavy is heavy how who Miffy down here too. You gotta watch that too. So put that on the quacker, dude.
I'm I'm surprised them boys in Southern Georgia got internet.
oh man. And,
No,
and,
my
and
I use my internet on my phone, but sometimes I do the same thing in the show at night. It'll go
That's right.
good for 2 or 3, 4 nights, and all of a sudden, bleep, it just don't want to work right. I don't
That's
know
right. Go
what
ahead
it
and
is.
finish your thought there, Hogleg.
I just want to add this in there for those who are not watching but they're listening. Uh, Take down KP to put it in a nutshell. What he looks like to me, uh, he looks like a southern soldier back from the Civil War. I've always told him that, and that's what he looks like. But we just
Since you're sharing what you think KP looks like, I want everybody to know that if my dad were from the South, Kenneth Powell would be my dad because my dad sounds just like him.
oh
My dad looks an awful lot like him, but my dad is from West Des Moines, Valley Junction, Iowa. He is not from Virginia, and he is not from the South. But my dad has been a follower and a lover of all things historical to do with the Civil War. So Hogleg, I cannot even begin to tell you how much I can embrace your image for our listening crowd out there. And I won't call you Dad, KP, but just know that
That'd
whenever
be
I'm
all right,
around
son.
you,
You can
you
call me
remind me of
Dad.
my dad.
Let's call him Papa.
Hey,
So, I
well,
got,
eat on it, Papa. Now.
so do you guys have any goals for the show or shows, or you just comfortable where it's at and whatever God has to do with it, you that's what you're gonna do.
uh, we're our goal is to provide entertainment for the overnight crowds, and we are very Christian like channel.
Yep.
Uh, we don't allow any cussing, profanity, uh, or if you do, you get the boot. And there's been,
First, we ask you to calm it down. We'll ask you once, maybe twice, but three times you owe, baby.
and that's what I meant. Want to go by YouTube prison?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got a few in there,
I
but
think I got about 27 of them in there, and I didn't put half of them there. I think
but you know,
Mike put about 15 of them in there.
but you know what uh they're the people they come in and raising Cain about your show, but yet they come back as another name.
Yep. Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about now. Isn't that funny? You don't even have to say the name. But we're gonna keep it on the positive side because that's what we do. So
That's right.
you
Don't
said
get me started, Captain.
don't get me started. I had to go
But
on and
but
off
Kevin,
now.
let me add this one thing.
Go ahead.
Uh, we are a, a Christian based show, and it don't matter what your belief is. Um, I believe there's no denomination that will get you to heaven. You just have to trust and believe in the Lord, and just have to. I mean, He's a forgiving Lord. You just have to ask the Lord for forgiveness.
Hmm.
And with that being said, there's been a few. I mean, there's been quite a bit of YouTubers in our community go down, and we'll even take time out of our show and pray for them.
Yep.
Yep. I think it's important. And I've always told people, I was like, why put off something you can pray for right now? Because chances are you're going to get busy and you're going to forget. And
Yep.
I'm not sitting up here on my tower or nothing. I forget all the time. So if
Amen.
I got something, for instance, there's one of our friends, we were just talking about him. He lost his son, and his fishing partner came into the live stream. I was fishing, holding up the fish. That's the most important thing. And then that happened, and it seemed not so important anymore. It can change like that, and right then and
Yep.
there,
Yep.
we need to pray. And
That's
I
right.
think that's the most important thing is seize the opportunity while it's there because God put it on somebody's heart to share with you at that time.
Right.
But
That's
yeah,
why it was presented to you at that time too, Kev.
say it
And
again.
don't get me wrong, I'm no holy roller myself, and I don't proclaim to be, but I do believe in the Lord above.
Right.
What'd you
And
say, KP?
I said that's why the Lord presented it to you at that certain second in time because He wanted to be made known. He wanted you to do what you know you need to do.
Do not
that's right.
deny him. Yep.
That's right.
Look, I'm a firm believer, and everything happens for a reason. Okay, I'm a firm believer in that. So, and I believe you reap what you sow. You know,
I
and
believe that, but I believe that God is the reason things happen. Um,
oh
whether
yeah, God is always in control of everything. Okay, God's in control of everything, and God can do no wrong because He's perfect. And don't get me started preaching, brother. I have you up dancing in a minute. You been to jerk that mic off. Hey, hallelujah, Jesus! All
the
right, amen.
upper room when
Yeah,
Jesus.
I love. Look, I was raised up as a Christian all my life, and I
You
was
better
taught
stop.
Christian
We're
values.
gonna lose some subscribers.
Kevin
Yeah,
sent some
that's right.
emails.
So what I'm trying to say is we don't condemn nobody in our show for
Yeah,
what they
I agree.
believe.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
hey, everything's a free will.
That,
Even that's the way he made it, a free will. But like I tell them, and I done said it in the lives a bunch of times, you got a free will choice, but you got to remember one day you're gonna be held accountable for your choices.
yeah.
that's right.
Well, and
And I
and to
leave
go
it like
along
that.
with that, Mike and I have been accused of indoctrinating people, but we don't. We don't ever tell anybody that they're wrong in what they believe. We
I don't. I just plant a seed. I throw a seed out there, and if you want to take it, fine. If you don't, fine.
That's right. And if you my best friend here at home, other than my wife, is an agnostic, person, and we're best friends.
Yeah.
I don't believe
Yeah.
that you all have to, and that's I think, and then we're getting way off topic, but that's okay. That's where it led us.
Right.
Um, but
Hey,
I
we hadn't
believe,
talked about food yet.
yeah, no, we'll get there. But I believe that, like, that's kind of what's going wrong with our country right now is that we all get mad at other people for not believing what we believe or what somebody else believes. And if you don't believe what I believe, then you're wrong, and you should, get away from me and die. I think that's a bad attitude to have. I'm going to take him down for a second too.
That's
But
all
yeah,
right.
I think that your show and this show and several others, it doesn't matter what you believe in. Just come on in, and
Just come
if
on in.
you hear something you don't agree with, well, just shrug your shoulders and keep
That's right.
listening, or choose not to listen. I don't think that's the way. But anyway, that's that soapbox. But yeah, so Mike, did you have any other questions for Hogleg? I know you come in with a bunch of questions all the time.
Actually, I didn't know if anybody else, if we had shared the information that I'm a warehouse manager, warehouse supervisor, whatever you want to call me. So I really feel like I speak a similar language to Hogleg and KP because to me that's just like talking to all the drivers that come in every day, whether they're long haul coming in from the coast or whether they're local, pickup and delivery. So I
Right.
think that we've always we've always shared a common language and a common understanding there. That's been pretty neat, you know. And other than the fact of me just admitting to everybody that KP's my dad and Hog Leg is my friend, you know.
Oh, man.
I had written down that Hog Leg has several nicknames. I know you're called Boss Hog quite a bit, and quite a bit by KP,
Yeah.
since you're the originator of the show. And then I was trying to remember what Uncle Lou calls you.
Oh, man. Did you have to go there? Uncle,
Uh, I did.
Uncle Lou calls me pig's feet.
I know I've called you Shank before.
Yeah.
There's someone around here. There's a restaurant. My sister Trish loves to get the the shank from there, and I don't remember how they. It's not smoked. I think it's like braised or something. It's
Yeah.
delicious.
Well, you know what the shank is, don't you?
Hmm.
It's just, okay.
Yep.
That's a very good piece of meat. I like that piece of meat too.
Oh yeah.
So what's next for the hog leg and takedown catfishing show? Any big news coming up? Any changes to the show? Anything you want to talk about?
Oh, do you want you take it over?
I don't know how long I'll be able to talk, man. My internet, it got a mind of its own again. But I just want to continue to grow the channel. I like to get my community tab where I can share it to other people to help their channels grow. Um, whatever, whatever I feel like the good Lord leads me to do. But I'm always going to promote Him, and I'm always going to try to show love, and I'm always going to try to help anybody any way I can. And I'm hoping that me and Steve here is just going to keep building on our relationship and our channels. We'll see where the road goes, man. I mean, we old freaking frack. We just riding down the road on our horses looking at the sunset, riding there to the sunset. We're going to see what happens. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
Do you
That's
guys have
pretty
any
much what it is.
upcoming battles? I know that there's
Oh,
battles in the Boar's Nest. You have some coming up.
Yeah.
I'm,
Go ahead.
well, I just going to say one that I'm in is Saturday morning. I'm doing the Battle of the Rivers, what they call it, the River Battles or something, where
Right.
Rustic is putting on.
Bash of the Rivers.
Bash of the Rebels. There you go. I figure you could help me out on that one. I ain't too good sometimes remembering fine details, but yeah, I kind of got in at the last minute. I probably wouldn't have got in, but old John all got talking smack to me. It kind of it kind of like old fella told me, it put a cuckleberry in my saddle blankets. You know what I'm saying? So I had to
A
do
lot
something.
of those things. I really like that. And that's what I wanted to. And I just typed to Michael. I was like, I'm drawing a blank on my questions, but you got a lot of those old timey like sayings,
Say it. Yep.
like my pastor used to say, "You're lost like a ball in the high grass."
That's right. That's right. But look, I was raised that way, man. I'm old school, man. You know. It's like I tell everybody, I'm the last John Wayne left in this town because I'm just old school. I was raised that way. My grandpa pretty much raised me. I spent 80% of my time as a childhood with my grandpa, and he grew up in the Depression days. So naturally, he taught me the older ways, and I respect him. I miss him every day, but I'll see him again one day. But I'm just old school. But
Pastor used to say, "You look as scared as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs."
you got that right.
uh,
Yeah, man. But
We're gonna have to get more of these sayings.
it's some more. There's some more coming up. And Hogleg's channel, he can tell you about them. We got a couple coming up.
Yeah, tell us about them, and then tell people how they can get involved if they want to get involved in these fishing challenges.
okay. Uh, well, we don't currently have any battles scheduled, but we do want some brewing, uh, and we got two female anglers brewing. Uh, and some of y'all may know them. Sharina's keeping it real, and
Tanya.
is going up
Tanya
against
Hall. Yeah.
Catfish Queen Tanya Hollis.
Was
And
that discussed this morning?
yes, yes,
Well, and then Thomas, Serena's husband, was live, and she kind of took over the live on I think it's Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was watching. That's when it was created. Yeah, I was watching
Yeah,
it.
they were going back and forth. Serena was just play. It's all playful, y'all. I mean, we don't mean that to
yeah,
be fussing, but she was fussing playfully at Tanya and saying that and she was take her on, and Tanya was like she's keeping the queen title in her name, and
No.
so it was all in good fun.
Yeah, it was funny, man. I was laughing. It was hilarious, man.
that's,
Serena
But
became Rena.
oh
Riri, that's
yeah,
yeah, hey, uh, Boss Hog, we do got one you didn't mention on the
yeah.
17th.
Well, there's two I didn't mention, but they're not considered battles. Uh, they're considered
Call that.
call outs. On the 20, 27th at 8 a.m., starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. There, there's another group of four people out there that they call themselves the Friday Night Bites. And the Boar's Nest is going up against the Friday Night Bites on that day. And
sounds intense.
yeah, it's going to be.
So this is like show versus show.
Yeah, in a fishing tournament.
Yep.
Is boat or bank. It's going to be. Uh, y'all just tune in and
Yeah. So I was gonna say, instead of you telling people how to join a tournament, so all they gotta do is watch y'all show.
right
And
and
even if you don't catch it live, you can watch the playback. And Hogleg's always got his email going up there,
right
uh, and you can email him say, "Hey, I need to get in this action."
and another one is going to happen sometime in October. Uh, a little guy is picking on a big guy.
Mm,
uh, but uh, some of y'all may know him as Big Mike.
mm. He's a Boom
Yeah,
Squad member.
yeah,
Fishing
and he got a little trophy that he wants to get rid of or try to get rid of, and he got that trophy back about a year ago now. It's called "Can't You Can't Fish Worth a Lick." Oh, it's a nice trophy, but he called me out, and I accepted, and I think I might have stepped in just a little bit of doo doo because I'm a boat fisherman, and he's a he catches huge fish from the
I
bank.
was gonna say he may or may not be registered for the monster hunt in October. So
Right, I imagine he is, but he called me out, and I had a lot of going on, and he come to me and he said, "Okay, I'll fish you in the boat to boat." And I said, I done went out and got me two 10-foot rods, for the bank, and uh, I think I see another member, Boom Squad member in the chat that offered his services.
Freddie,
No,
fracture fix.
yep,
Oh
to Big Mike. Uh,
yeah.
and so we've decided, to push it back off until October.
Gotcha.
So
Well, we do like to end every show with a prayer. So if you're feeling this way about that call out, hog leg, we'll pray for you. We'll pray that Big Mike is merciful that night.
oh
Well, on that note, y'all, it's come to that time of the night, and I really do appreciate you guys coming up last minute. But man, I've had a blast. How about you, Mike?
I I'm trying to get over this little uh, allergy bout that I have. Been laughing a lot, hitting the mute button, coughing. My ribs hurt. I admit I admitted that Kenneth is my dad, and and I picked on Pig's feet down there. So I've had a heck of a good hour. I'm feeling pretty darn good. Missed our anniversary, but yet Kevin still loves me, so it's
I
all
did.
good.
And we had a hog leg on here, and he's gonna make sure you check out hog leg, and then make sure you check out Cape Hill from Virginia. But y'all definitely check these guys out. You check them out; they're fun to watch. They got co-hosts on them. Miss Becca's on there sometimes, co-hosting with them.
yes, yeah,
And it's just a good time. And if you're up late, you don't have anything else to do, go check them out. Or if you're driving to work, if you do have an early commute like me, go check them out. You will not be disappointed. But that being said, fellas, go ahead, KP.
I just want to say one thing. I'll shut up for the rest of the night. Well, for 5 minutes. Uh, Thank you, sir. You two guys, thank you for having us up here. We appreciate you.
yes.
And I want to thank you guys for everything y'all do for this catfish community family, so to speak. Y'all do a lot and do a lot behind the scenes nobody knows about. But I got a
Right.
pretty good idea of what you boys are doing. But appreciate you. Really do. Thank you a lot.
Hey, KP,
Yo.
how long you think it'll take us to get a show like this?
Oh man, for to get a show like this, well, if you keep doing like you doing, you probably do pretty good. It take me about 10,000 years.
You already got the equipment to do it. All you got to do is do it.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
and a good answer is no. But since both of you guys are praying, man, we've never had anybody pray us out, but me. Would you one of you guys like to pray us out?
Well, you won't do it, Harley. You won't do it. You want me to do it.
You can do it.
All right.
All right. All I do
Y'all
is ask
ready?
you lift up Mr. J. Fox Hunter. He's on a downhill slope right now,
Yep.
and not sure if he's gonna make it. So just pray for him and
Oh,
his
man.
wife.
Okay. All right. Let us pray. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the blessings you bestowed upon us. We thank you for having the opportunity to come up tonight and get to know these two awesome guys up here on panel. We thank you for them in this community and what they do. We thank you for Hog Leg and what we're trying to portray here. And we pray, Father, that you would manifest that. We ask that you be with Mr. J. Fox Hunter and his wife and the rest of the family. We ask that you would comfort them and let them know that they can lean on you, Father. Help them to draw closer to you, Father, because you're always in control of everything.
Mm.
And help them to know that they need you in their life if they don't already know so. But I ask you to continue to be with Mr. Ernie Brown and Chrissy. Help them.
Mhm.
Uh, Different ones in the community that I can't recall right now, but you know, Father, who they are and you know what's wrong with them.
Mhm.
We ask, Father, that you would do as you see fit. And Father, we ask that you would lead us the way that you'd have us to go with our channels and our shows. And whatever needs to be done, that you give us the strength and the will and the wisdom to do it, and we will follow, Lord. Again, thanks for everything. Thanks for your blessings. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. That's some good praying right there now.
Yeah, it is.
And as always, until next time, everybody, happy fishing.
Deuces.
Doodle.